Okay. Hi everyone, this is Mohammed Sadiq. In this particular video, we'll learn what is pivot table in Excel. What is a pivot table? A pivot table is nothing but is a data summarization table where your complex data, row-based data, is going to be converted into a Tableau format where the data will be flowing in the form of rows and the columns, and you'll also have a summarized data. In Excel, a pivot table is one of the very powerful tools used to calculate, summarize, and analyze the data. And also it lets you see the comparison patterns and trends in your data. Okay, so we'll just get into practically and we'll see like how do we work with this particular pivot table. Now I'll just take this particular thing in this. I just have this particular sales data. When you look into this particular data, so I just have some sales data here where I have the information. Every row gives me the information about the sales. So which has a row ID, that is a unique ID, the order date, shipment mode. We do also have a customer name and the various information, which city, which country, what category of product, which region this particular product belongs to. And also I have the information like, okay, what is the category, subcategory, the sales information. Now what I want to do is I just want to know, okay, what is the total sales happened? Okay, across all the regions, across all the categories, the total overall sales I want to find out. Or I want to subdivide that into a region-wise sales or the category-wise sales or the subcategory-wise sales, or I want to see this particular sales based on the segment-wise. Okay, so that is where exactly we can use a pivot table. So we'll just see how do we go for a pivot table. So now here when you see, I just have some kind of a complex data I've just taken. So we have almost 10,000 rows of data I have. Now I want to convert this data where I can get the meaningful insights from this. Okay, so for this, I'll go to the pivot table. If I have to get into the pivot table, so what is that we do is we just get into the insert tab of your Excel. Okay, so when you hit on this particular insert tab, in the insert tab, you can see there is a feature here called as a pivot table. Okay, so that means we just click on this particular insert tab. In the insert tab, we have this particular tool called as a pivot table. So this helps you in creating a pivot table. Let me just hit on this particular pivot table to create the pivot table. I just hit on this. As soon as I hit on this particular thing, so I get this particular pivot table wizard box, a dialog box, where it just takes this information, select the table or the range of data. Now, this whole table I have given a name here called as TBL sales. If it is a range, it just selects the data from A1 to, okay, M 10,000, whatever the rows are there. So that data range will be selected since I have given the name. So of the table as table sales, the name has been given. And here also it just tells me where you want the output of this particular data. Since, as I said, this data will be converted into a Tableau format where we're going to have a different layout of this particular data. So whether you want to have it in the same sheet or in the new sheet, since we're going to have this particular data in a different layout, it is better to go with the new sheet. So here what I do is by default the range has been selected. By default a new sheet option is selected. We'll go with this, and you can see there is a running ants over there. This is like the range of data what has been selected. I'll just say okay. As soon as I say okay, what Excel pivot table tool option will do is it will create a new sheet. Okay, you can see it automatically adds a new sheet and just provides me a kind of a template how exactly a pivot table is going to look. So where we'll have some data in the rows, we'll have some data in the columns, and do also have a summarized data. Okay, that is what you can see on the left hand side of the new sheet. And when it go to this particular right hand side of this particular sheet, so you can see here you get this particular option called as a pivot table field. So this is listing out all the fields that we saw in the pivot table, this one. So that is like what row ID, order ID, okay, segment, region, city, okay, even the sales data, all this particular data is been listed over here. And also you can see here we do also have some boxes here. So where how you want to, because I said you're converting the data into row by columns and summarization. So what data you want for calculation, what data you want in the row wise, what data you want to flow in the column wise, we can specify. Apart from that, we can also filter the whole pivot table. Now we'll look into this. Okay, this gets automatically as soon as you click on this particular pivot table tool. Now what I want is First thing is, let me want to see what is the total sales that has happened. I just want to know the total sales that has happened. If I have to find the total sales, what I do is I just select the sales. Okay. Now, as soon as I click on the sales is a calculatable field, a measurable field. So what happens is this has automatically dragged into the values, the calculation field. And you can see on your left-hand side, which was showing a template, how your table is going to look. There you have this particular total sales. That means I have a sales of 22,97,200. This is the total sales what has been done. Now, fine. So we got the total sales on a single click. Now, what I want to do is I want to see this particular this particular data. The sales have done in the different region. We have the sales for the south region. We have a lot of sales which has happened in the west region. We have a lot of sales which has happened in the east region, central region, respectively. Now, I just want to see the summarized data based on the region wise. I want to see the region wise what is the total sales that has happened. So again, I'll just get into the sheet where I have a pivot table, and we can see from this, I'll just select this region. Okay, I just select the region, and as soon as I select, you can see by default this region is dragged and dropped into the rows. So what a pivot table have understood over here is, since region has a categorical information, a discrete value, based on that it has not taken into the values, it has taken into the rows, and it has been divided. And you can see here, okay, the data we have got it is the region wise sales. In the central region, this is sales. In the east region, this is sales. In the west region, this is sales. In the south region, this is sales. So that is, you can see the region wise sales, and also we have the grand total. Fine. So just on a click, we just got even the region wise total. Now, when you look into this, here I have this particular sum of sales which has some decimal values. Some places I have 2-digit decimal, some places I have 3-digit decimal, and things. So it becomes very difficult to read out, what is this particular, how many lakhs and all those things. So I want to remove the decimals. Okay, so in that case, what I do, I'll just select this and I'll just go to this particular values. So value field settings. Okay, I just click on this particular arrow and I'll just get into this particular option called as a value field settings. I just hit on this. Okay, as soon as I hit on this, here we can see here there is a number format option. Okay, where I can change the number format. I just hit on this and I just want to remove that particular thing. Okay, I'll just go with the currency format where I want to remove the decimal. I want to have, so I think that should be fine. I want to have 1,000 separator. I can just go for it. I say okay. Fine. So you can see that decimals is removed. The 1,000 separators are being added. So now the data is more clear. So we can understand that the west region has done a best sale of 7 lakhs, 7.25 lakhs, and the south region has done just 3.91 lakhs. So comparatively, the west region has done the higher sale. Okay. I just want to show that in the form of a graphical thing. So again, when you have this particular numbers, it becomes very difficult to understand. Okay, so I want to highlight it with the colors. I'll just go to the home. So we have a conditional formatting here. So there I'll just say, I just put it based on the format based on the data series. Yeah. So you can see here, the west region has done the highest sale. Okay, the filled bar is there, and you can see east region is almost very close to the fill. They have done almost close to the highest sale, but south has done the very low sale. That is almost half of the west region sales. Okay, so I can see this particular summarization. So let me clear this. I think fine. Now we got this particular region wise sales. Now what I want to do is, within the region, I want to see the category wise sales. Okay, within the region thing. So what I can do, I can just select the category column, drag and drop into the columns. You can see this particular data is being subdivided based on the category. So that means in the columns, I have given the categorical in the category wise information, and in the rows, I have given the region wise sales. So when you look into this, this particular grand total, it says this is the total for the region wise sales. That is, in the central region, we have a sales of 5 lakhs. But that's 5 lakhs of sales is being divided based on the the category. So that means that 5 lakhs mean, so furnitures, we have a sales of 1,63,000, 1.67 lakhs for the office supplies, so 1.70 lakhs of technology. So some of this is going to be 5 lakhs. So now you can see in the East region, so there was a sales of furnitures of 2 lakhs, okay, office supplies of almost 2+ lakhs, and 2.65 lakhs of technology sales. So you can see in the East region, total sales of 6.78% have achieved. So when you see the same way West region, yeah, 2.52 lakhs of furnitures, office supplies of 2.2 lakhs, 2.51 lakhs of technology sales in the West region, and it has done the highest of 7.25 lakhs. Okay, and we have the grand total. And not only that, you can see this way, okay, you are getting this particular category wise totals. So this is the total sales of category. That means in the furnitures, the sales of 7.42 lakhs, office supplies 7.19 lakhs. So technologies almost like 8.36 lakhs of sales have happened. And that furnitures, you want to see this division based on the region wise. Yeah, so out of the 7.42 lakhs, so you can see the central region have done a sales of 1.63, east has done 2 lakhs, south region has done 1.17 lakhs. So whereas west region has done again the highest here of 2.25. So that means 2.52. This is a grand total. So you can see the category wise totals as well as the category for the individual region wise, as well as we can see the totals for the row wise. And apart from that, we do also have the grand total, which remains the same. Fine. So this is how we create this particular pivot table. Fine. Now, let us see this particular data based on the category wise. Now I have this particular category wise, what is the total sales? Now under each category, we have subcategories. There are some lot of products under each category. Under furnitures, we have many products, and office supplies, I have many products. I want to see under the category, I want to know what are the different subcategory of products are there. Okay, in that case, what will I do? So I'll just maintain this particular category information in the row wise. Okay, I've just maintained. And within this category, I just want to have a subcategory. So what I do, I'll just select the subcategory, or I can just hit on that. It comes automatically below that. Okay, and you can see here is we have this particular total sales of furnitures of 7.42 lakhs, but under furnitures we have this are the different furnitures. We have the bookcases, the chairs, the furnishing tables, and we can see each product the sales, and some of this particular value is this. Okay, so you can see office supplies, the sales of 7.19 lakhs, and you can see this is the total individual products under the office supplies subcategories. Okay, and the total. Now, okay, I got this particular thing. So now generally what we do is we look into each category, what is here, the category wise, the subcategory wise sales. And then I want to see the totals. I always prefer the totals to be below the particular individual subcategory. That means I want to see the individual sales, and then I want to see the total, the furniture total, office supplies ka sales, and then I want to know what is the total sales in office supplies, technology, the different subcategories of the technology sales, and then I want to see what is the total sales. We always prefer seeing this totals in the bottom. So in that case, what I do is I just want to change the layout. So you can see when you create this particular pivot table, so we have this particular option here, so called as analyze. In that case, what we do is we just hit on this particular analyze tab. So you can see in the analyze, we have the analyze and the design. That is, we have a pivot table tools. Under that, we have this particular option here, analyze and the design. Okay. So now in this particular analyze tab, and sorry, I want to change the layout of this. So what I will do, I'll just get into this particular design tab. In the design tab, you can see there is this particular subtotal option. So I'll just say how you want the subtotals to be. Okay. So I say I want the subtotals to be at the bottom of the group. So I'll just change it to the bottom of the group. You can see the individual sales. Okay. Bookcases, how much of sales have happened, chairs, furnishing, and all these things. And then the total of furnitures is in the bottom. Okay. Individual office supply sales. This is the total sales of office supplies. I could change this particular layout. Not only that, so you can see we have a category and the subcategory. They are showing in the single column. Now I want to have it as a tabular. Okay. Now it is in a very compact view. So I want to have an outline view. So we can change this particular report layout, and I can say show it in the outline. So you can see we have a category. Under the category, we have a subcategories, and then we can see the totals. Yeah, so we have been shown. Okay, so if you don't want to show the grand totals, we can off it. Okay, that is, you can see the grand total is removed. Let us have it. on for the rows and columns. Fine, we just got this. Now again, see, what I want to do is, we have this particular data here. When you see this pivot table is very useful for the business analyst to analyze this particular data. Now, generally, this particular business analyst, instead of seeing this particular numbers, the big numbers, they want to see this particular sales in the form of percentage. How much each category is being contributed for my total sales? How much each subcategory is being contributed for my total sales? I want to see this in the form of a percentage. If I have to show this particular data in the form of percentage, let us see how do we do that. Now, I want to have this particular sales data in the form of percentage. So since it is a sales data, so I just select this particular sales and I'll again add this to the values. Again, once again, I'll just drag the sales and I'll just place it once again. So you can see here, what I did is I just clicked on this particular sales, I dragged and placed it once again. So you got this two fields here. So this is the actual sum of sales. This is the sum of sales too. That is the second label. Okay, the same field has been repeated. Then you can see in the report also, we got sum of sales, again sum of sales. But here I want to see in the form of percentage. So what I do, I'll just select this field. Okay. As soon as I click on this field, you can see we have the option here called as value field settings. So I'll just select this. I'll just go to the value field settings. In the value field settings, so what is that we do is, okay, we have this particular thing. So we can give the name for this particular the field, the second field. I want to show this as a percentage of sales. Percentage of sales, or you can yeah, you can give some of, so you can have a shorter name, okay, thing. And then I just say show values as. So now you can see here it is showing the values in the different this one. So we have the shows values as. By default it says no calculation here. Okay, so I just click on this drop down and here I'll just say percentage of the grand total. So whatever the grand total is there, for that I want to show it in the form of a percentage. Okay, I'll just select this and I'll just say percentage of the grand total. I just say okay. As soon as I say okay, so you can see here, so I just wanted this totals in the bottom, show the bottom of the, okay. Now you can see here, the furnitures have contributed 7.42 lakhs. That means 32% of the overall sales is being contributed by the furnitures. 31% is being sales has been contributed by the office supplies. Okay, and the technology has contributed at 36. So that means that technology has contributed the highest percentage of the sales. Fine. Now within this particular category, so we have a subcategory. That means out of that 23 lakhs, the total sales, the bookcases we have sold as 1,14,000. Okay, how much percentage of the sales has been contributed by the bookcases? So you can see 5% of the total sales. Chairs, we have got a sales has been generated of 3.28 lakhs. That means out of 23 lakhs, 3.28 lakhs, which is coming to 14.3%. So you can see furnishing has generated almost 4% of sales. So tables of 9% of sales. Okay, so here I can come to know which particular subcategory has generated the highest percentage. When you see here, phones have generated highest percent, 3.30 lakhs. Okay, that is 14.37. So then, yeah, the chairs 3.28 lakhs, that is 14.3%. So that means the phones and chairs, they have done the highest contribution of the sales. Okay, so it's been done. Fine. Or I want to see the comparison only based on the subcategory wise, you can just remove this category. So you can see the individual contribution, what has been done. Okay, and I see again, you know, it becomes difficult to analyze this. I can just put a conditional formatting, okay, to show this in the form, like, you know, which particular category has contributed the highest sale. I'll just get to the home tab. I'll go to the conditional formatting. So I can just select the date of series. I can just fill it. Yeah. So when you see the bar which is filled, almost they have done the highest sale. Okay, very close to the longer the length of the bar is, the higher is the sales. Okay, so when you see here, these two bars are higher, that is phones and the chairs, they have the highest sales. Then compared to that, machines and all these things, they have done a good sale. Okay, tables and all these things, but the very weak sale is the labels, the fasteners. Okay, only 0.13%, envelope 0.7%. Okay, art is 1.18%. So they are like, very weak sales. So I can do this kind of a analysis. Fine. So yeah, so I can do the various other calculations, like, I want to know which particular subcategory product stands in. I want to give the ranking. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just select the sales again, drag it below this. I got one more field here. So now I'll just hit on that particular field. I'll just say value field setting. Now here I want to give the ranking. So what will I do? I'll just select this. I'll just say show values. Okay, there I just want to give the heading here as rank, sales rank. Okay, the rank for the sales. Okay, and then I'll just select this particular drop down and I'll just say I want to give the ranking based on the largest to the smallest sale. Largest value will get the highest rank. The smallest sale will get the lower sale will get the lower the rank. So 1, 2, 3. So we can see here, this is like, when I say this to almost they have a full bar. Okay, so I want to still like, find out where exactly they stand. So yeah, so 4.37 is rank 1, 4.30 is rank 2, and the third highest is this 9.74. You can see the difference between the second and the third rank is storage. Okay, I can find out. Then the fourth is your tables. Yeah, so I can find out this particular ranking. Yeah, so I can do this particular kind of a calculations with the pivot tables data. So we can add this particular fields into the values, and I can go to this particular value field settings, and I can get this particular percentage calculations. I can get this ranking. I can even get this particular running totals, and the various options can be done. Now, I have this particular data. So we can see when I create this particular pivot table, so we automatically get this pivot table tools where we have the analyze tab and also have a design tab. So mainly in the analyze tab, where you can see this particular data in the different views. Okay, so we can see some of the features here. So we have some very good option here called as a slicer. Slicer is like, we can have an interactive filters on this particular data. I just hit on the slicer. Okay, it will show all the fields that is there in my pivot table, this one. So you can see what are the fields are there. I can apply the slices for all the fields. Let me go for, since I have this categorical information and the subcategory, let me take this too. Okay, so you can see we have this particular category and do also have the subcategories data. Fine. Now what I want is, okay, I can even format the slicer. I can just select the slicer, and then I can just say, I want to have this into 2 columns. Fine. And so I can just resize this. I can go with multiple columns. I just place it below this. Okay. We have a categories. We do also have this particular, what you say, the subcategories of data. Now what I want to do is, if I select the furnitures, you can see it is showing only the furnitures data. And we can see the ranking also is changing according to this particular furnitures. And you can see automatically in the subcategory also it says, out of all these things, okay, only this 4 products belongs to the furnitures. This does not belong to this filter. So you can see they have this particular cascading effect. So if I select a category, okay, it just automatically filters out in the subcategory, showing only that particular products belonging to that category, and even your table gets automatically filtered for that. So if I select office supplies, you can see it shows only the products of the office supplies, and we can see only those particular products has been highlighted, and it is just coming, it has been sorted also, that is coming in the top of the list. Technologies, fine, it shows. Now I select the office supplies. Under office supplies, I want to select a particular, say, appliances. It shows only that particular sales. Or I want to select appliances, storage, and papers and labels. Fine. I've just selected this 4 under the subcategory. So that means I have applied the filter based on the category as well as based on the subcategory, and it is showing only the data what has been filtered. Okay, so here with the help of this particular slices, we can have a very interactive filters, and slices are very useful when you're creating a dashboards in your Excel. Very useful, very great feature. I can just remove this filter. I can just remove, if I remove the filters in this, you can see it is removed, but still I have the filters on the subcategory. I can just remove this. Okay. So now I'll just say I want to deselect some. I can hold on the control key and say deselect some of the options. I don't want to see art. I don't want to see envelope. I don't want to see labels. Okay. I don't want to see the fasteners. Okay. So I've just selected, I've deselected some option. You can use a control key to deselect, and I think it can be done. So with the help of this particular slices, I can comfortably select, deselect, and options can be done. So, okay, so we can have multiple slices which can be connected to each other. Apart from that, so you can see we have this particular option and analyze, like, you have done any changes. See, like our table is a report. You cannot edit this. So any changes you want to do, you have to always do it in the source data. So, and you want the changes to be reflected, we can just say refresh. Okay, since you have taken a table, the table, range will be automatically expanded. Okay, I think. And there is a design features which we have seen. How do we change the layout of that? So we do also have a pivot table style. So with the help of which I can change the style of this particular the data that you are trying to display. Okay, so I just want to show with the different colors, maybe dark colors. Fine. Let me have the subcategory so you can see a better this one about this. Yeah. And you want alternate row with the different colors. We have banded rows, banded columns can be done. Okay, so you can go to banded rows and you can just select this. Now we have some good features here. Okay, we can change the look and feel of this particular chart the way you want it. Okay, things can be done. Okay, fine. Thank you for watching this particular video. So let me